Hi everybody, welcome to my video blog. Different place, sitting down today with a bunch of books behind me because I want to talk about books. Best books I read in 2018. And I'm actually considering starting a monthly blog sharing what my best book of the month was and why it was best and how a book impacted my life. So I thought I would start this video beginning of the year by sharing with you some of the 30 plus books I read last year. And I'm not saying that I read a lot to brag, but I want to share with you the real reason behind why I read so much. I make a goal of reading one book a week. Now I'm close to that. Last year I read about 40 books if I put together all the printed books plus my audiobooks that I listen when I travel. But the reason behind why I read so much is because I'm constantly working on my mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional fitness. Plus, on top of that, I run a business that requires me to be smart with money, learn more about financial fitness, learn how to brand myself, market the business, which are things that I'm not an expert at. And yes, I do work with some experts, but I want to make sure I'm not just relying on an expert like a doctor or a marketing expert. Whatever you're doing in your life that you wanted to get better, I recommend that you don't just rely on one person to tell you what to do. Read about it. Like if you have a health condition, get books about that condition, learn about what that really means in your body. If you want to learn more about money, buy books about money, educate yourself, because knowledge, it's power. However, it's only power when it's applied knowledge. So you might say, well, I know people who read a lot of books and their lives are not different. Well, because a lot of people can read a lot of books, go into a lot of personal growth seminars and choose not to apply any of the concepts in their lives. Yes, and that doesn't work. It's way more powerful to read one book a year and apply the concepts of that book than read 40 books a year and not apply the concepts. So one strategy that I use with books and to make sure I am walking that talk and living that principle is every time I read a book, I take one concept, one thing that I'm going to apply and test it in my life to see how it affects my emotions, my mental state, my spiritual state, my physical, my finances. So that's how I learn. And then I'm able to teach my clients. And of course, when we teach, we learn even more. There's no better way to learn, to embody a concept than teaching others. So why do I read so much? Because yes, it's a passion, but I love growth. I love expansion, and I get to grow and expand every single day when I spend 45 minutes to an hour reading. And my goal this year is to increase to an hour and a half so I can really get the goal of reading a book a week. So if you see my library here, a small library, these are all the books I read in 2018. You're gonna find a variety. I'm gonna put a picture on my Facebook page too, so you can kind of browse what I'm reading. Every time coaches do posts about books, I wanna see exactly the title of the book because I'm curious. So if you love reading, you might wanna know some of the titles of these books, but you're gonna find here in this pile books on quantum physics, books on genetics like the Dirty Genes, books about sales, books about marketing, books about finances, books about the power of the mind, books about healing the heart when you're being hurt, when you had a trauma like broken open, books about anxiety like there, and so on. So here I want to go right into what are my favorite books of 2018, and from this moment I'm always going to share with you my favorite book of the month. So by the end of the year, you're going to have 12 books that I love reading, and I'm going to tell you why I love the book so you can choose to read or not. So number one book I picked here was Neville Goddard, and this guy has really been, I think, one of the first person to really talk about the law of attraction and how important it's for us when we want to manifest anything in our lives to embody the feeling of that goal. That's why the title of the book, it's Feeling Good or Feeling is the Secret, Feeling is the Secret, because he talks about how important it is to reprogram your subconscious mind. So if you say, I'm gonna be happy when I make $1 million, the secret is you gotta feel right now as you already made the $1 million. So great little book. I read this book like 2-3 times a year, and I already read this book twice since 2008, one time in 2018, and I read in the beginning of this year. So my other favorite, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I have all his books. Dr. Joe Dispenza is an expert in the biology of our emotions, if you will. He is an expert on the research. He's really around the research of how our thoughts affects our emotional state, and how our emotional state will define our state of being. So Supernatural, Become Supernatural is his latest book, and he talks about really about biology, quantum physics. He puts all together and how we can use the power of our mind to change our biology, which it starts to tap into epigenetics, how we can change the function of our genes, and how you can start even change your state of being. Really cool stuff. If you love biology, if you love quantum physics, if you love the power of the mind, I highly recommend this book, Becoming Supernatural. The other one I read, Amy Cuddy, I don't know how to say her name, but called Presence. This book is about how our presence, in other words, how our body posture, the way we carry our body around affects our emotional state. And I'm all about that. I know our emotional state affects our body, and I know the body is going to affect our state as well. So if I ask you, how would you be standing up if you were going to be very confident, very certain, very clear in your goals right now? You're going to stand up in a certain way. But if I say, how would you stand up? You are feeling tired, depleted, and completely unclear about your life and your goals. There's a different body posture. So Presence, she collects a lot of research about that principle of how our body language affects our emotional state. So what I love about these books is that they're not new concepts to me, but it's science, it's research. A lot of these books are written by, Stanford researchers, people who are dedicating their life to psychology, to the power of the mind. So Presence is a really good book. Next one, this was what I read in December, James Clear, Atomic Habits. Remember how I was talking about habits at the end of the year in my videos? This book was really good. This book, basically James Clear took all the science behind the habit loop, the triggers, and he made it more fun. He's like a combination of the science of habits and personal growth. And I really dig both topics. So really good book talking about how small changes, like the compound effect, how tiny changes can make a tremendous difference in our lives. For example, if you don't work out at all and you want to start playing, how just doing 1 push-up today, maybe 2 tomorrow, 3 the other day, how tiny things can make a huge impact on your life and change your habits. He shares a lot of great strategies about how to change our habits. Like I share some of these habits with you on my latest videos back in December. So Atomic Habits, really good. And the last book, Building a Story Brand. This was a friend, a coach that I work with that's helping me to launch my first online course. Right in the beginning, we started working together. She said, you got to read this book by Donald Miller. And it's one of the best marketing books I read. I know marketing is a funny thing for a lot of us coaches who really are in the business to help people. We just want to give away information, really help as many people as we can, and that's still my philosophy. But here he helps coaches like myself, entrepreneurs like myself, to really structure our message, transform our message in a way that will relate to people. So there are a lot of written exercises here that help me a lot to really get clear about how I help people, what is my message, who are my clients. So if you're an entrepreneur or you're launching a new business or anything, Building a Story Brand, it's a great book. It really resonated with me, and it's on my list of reading again, because a lot of the books are so good that I read again, because when you read something for the second time, you just interpret differently. You take information differently. So those are my favorite books of 2018. I hope you enjoyed this blog. If you're a reader, I'm sure you enjoy it. Maybe you're not a reader, but you want to make an intention, you send the intention to read more this year because you just want to grow a little more in certain areas of your life. You want to grow more in your financial fitness. You want to learn more about spiritual fitness, how you can become more centered, more grounded, connect with your heart more. Any topic you want to learn, there are tons of books out there. And if you want a book recommendations, send me a message, put a comment under my video, and I'm happy to send you recommendations. I have another 300 books behind this camera there, and I'm happy to help you. So I hope this was good. And don't forget, I have 4 spots for VIP clients right now. So talking about spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical fitness, I'm opening my schedule to work with 4 new clients where 50% of the time we work out, get the physical body strong, build more endurance, and 50% of the time of our time together, we're gonna be in my office discussing spiritual, mental, and emotional fitness, so you complete fit and see how that can amplify your life, your health, your happiness. So check it out. 4 spots available for VIP training with me. I just take 4 VIP clients a year, so this is a great time for you to give me a call, ask me more about VIP training. We can sit down for 45 minutes and I can learn more about you and see if that's the right program for you. So thank you so much. I hope you're having an amazing 2019 so far, and I talk to you very soon.